the infamous Ultimate One, and today we're gonna get into the title here, the AEW Dynasty Chaos that happened toward the ending of the show. Now, usually I'm not very critical when it comes to AEW because usually when they do pay-per-views, they're on point. We saw Revolution last month, and that show was high impact, banger matches, all kind of stuff. But this past Sunday, we saw AEW Dynasty. AEW Dynasty, we saw good matches. We saw FTR turning on Cope. We saw Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart, which that match was little signs of what was coming toward the end because the Julia Hart and Mercedes Moné match, it looked like Julia Hart was trying to carry Mercedes Moné because there was a bunch of botches in there that it was just like mind-boggling. But we're not here to go and do a rundown on the whole pay-per-view. We're going to talk about two main things that happened on Sunday. The first one was the Ring of Honor World Title match that was presented. It was Chris Jericho putting his title on the line against Bandido putting his mask on the line. Apparently, during the match, we saw, Jericho go do his own tricks and does all whatever he does usually, and that is grab the bat and hit Bandido while Brian Keith had the referee distracted. Jericho went and ended up using the bat and whatnot, and next thing you know, once he used the bat, he went and pinned Bandido. Now, you would say, wow, AEW just went that route where they're going to have Jericho beat Bandido with the bat and have Bandido lose his mask. Now, the last time we ever saw Jericho do such thing was back at, I believe, was in WCW when he fought Juventud Rivera, and I believe was title versus mask also and whatnot. But the crazy spot is that during that time, Juventud Guerrero lost his mask. So here we are, we're watching this match where now we saw Chris Jericho grab the bat, hit Bandido with the damn bat, and now it looks like you're going to unmask Bandido. Lo and behold, you come and you see Audrey Edwards go around the ring area. I don't know why, but she was around the ring area. And the family of Bandido supposedly went and told the referee, "Oh, Chris Jericho hit him with the bat. He hit the bat by the steps." And what does Aubrey Edwards does? She goes and check, and there's the bat. Now, the most stupidest thing I ever saw in wrestling history. How you doing, Marianne? The most stupidest thing I ever saw in wrestling was this past Sunday. After the referee already counted to 3, how is it that the referee, Audrey Edwards, is going to go and ask the family of Bandido what happened? Right? Supposedly, usually we never see this. The referee doesn't ask somebody in the audience, "Oh, did he use the bat?" They went that route, and they actually walked the family out of the fan area behind the barricade, and they pointed it out where it was. And then you see them, they're going to restart the match again. You see the family jumping up and down like fools. I'm like, what is going on here? And eventually Bandido ended up winning the match. Now, there was another situation that happened that kind of, in a way, kind of explains what happens now. But when it happened on Sunday, a lot of people were wanting for Swerve Strickland to beat Jon Moxley. Now, I thought he was going to beat Jon Moxley because let's be realistic. The AEW belt has not been seen since October of last year when Jon Moxley beat, Daniel Bryan. Now, the crazy spot is that it's been months we have not seen the AEW belt at all, right? So we're thinking, okay, we're going to see Swerve Strickland beat Moxley for the belt, and then we're going to see the belt because it's been walking around supposedly in a briefcase, right? So what happens? During the match, it was a good match. Then all of a sudden we see the Death Riders come in, and the referee's knocked down. The Death Riders come in and whatnot. Out of nowhere, I don't know why. I don't know if they was trying to start a storyline here with the Ops, but the Ops got involved. How you doing, Warren? The Ops got involved. They went at it. They started going at it. Whatever the case may be. I mean, one point Maria Shafir got, diamond cut by Moxley by mistake. So I'm saying to myself, why is the Ops involved in this Death Rider storyline? All right. So happens, the lights go out, and lo and behold, the Young Bucks are in the middle of the ring, holding Swerve Strickland by each arm, and they give him the EVP move. Now, my thing is, why is the Young Bucks interfering in a match where the Death Riders are involved? That was my thing. So after the show, a lot of fans did a backlash. They were pissed off because they were like, how in the hell you already messed up the Ring of Honor title match by reversing the match and then having this Bandido's family come out of the back out of the railings to tell Aubrey Edwards where the bat was, which was kind of stupid in my opinion, and a lot of fans' opinion. Let's be realistic. And then to have that happen, but now you go and have the lights go out and the Young Bucks come out and cause Swerve Strickland to lose the match. A lot of people were pissed off because they wanted Strickland to win the bout, because the title has not been seen since October. Okay, I don't understand how AEW is, having this storyline continue. I don't have a problem with the Death Rider. I just have a problem with the fact that they're not showing the belt. This hasn't been shown since October. The whole Ring of Honor thing with Chris Jericho, now I have a problem with that because number one, how many matches did Bandido had with Chris Jericho? Okay? And it took 3 matches, and the third match, okay, the third match was even worse than the other 2. Because Bandido should have been able to beat Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, I feel that Jericho is behind the scenes and he's deciding how the matches end. Okay? He comes up with these ideas. Okay? So he does his whole storyline and the whole thing. Because the whole Bandido thing, they've been feuding for months. For months they've been feuding and whatnot. And finally, Bandido beats him, but he only beats him because I want to know why was Aubrey Edwards walking around the ring and asking questions. What the family's like, oh no, he had a bat there. Really? Since when that ever happens? We don't see that in wrestling. So that part was kind of like, it kind of like, tarnished it a little bit because I was like, okay. But then the world title match made it worse. Because everybody was expecting Swerve Strickland to win the AEW belt and the belt being shown again on TV. But no, as we saw last night, the storyline now seems that the Young Bucks want to do some type of deal with the Death Riders, which makes no sense to me because, and they're supposed to be the Elite and whatnot, and the Elite's their own group. And then now you got Kenny Omega. Now I'm going to start feuding with the Elite. But then it looks now like AEW is definitely letting people know that there is going to be a unification match between Kenny Omega and Okada and whatnot. The Death Rider, who is going to be next to wrestle Jon Moxley for this belt? Who's going to be next? Because right now the Owen Hart Cup started the tournament, but then that was not gonna happen to July because that's when All In is at. It's not in August. It's gonna be in July, right? So my thing is, so Moxley's gonna be around for months doing nothing because I know, the Bloods and Guts is coming soon. So most likely that's gonna happen, and I doubt that because last night Pac got hurt, an ankle injury, and it looks like the Ops are going after the 6-man titles, which may not happen because Pac may be injured. God knows how bad is the injury he has. But anyway, to me, I felt like this pay-per-view that should have been very good kind of messed it up because now Jericho went and I guess decided to have this storyline end this way with the stupidity of the family coming in and saying, "Oh, look, he got the bat by the staircase." I mean, it's stupid because it's not like Jericho doesn't bring the bat. He brings the bat with him all the time, puts it inside next to the ring. I mean, it didn't make no sense. And supposedly, Tony Khan says he listens to the fans. Really? People just are tired of seeing Jericho. They want Jericho to retire, but they continue to, you know, keep pushing him, or he's pushing himself and whatnot. I mean, and Dynamite did pretty good last night, but my question again, they're teasing the part with the Hurt Syndicate. I have a feeling now that FTR turning on Cope, we may see the Pinnacle get back together again. That sounds crazy, but it may happen. The Pinnacle teaming up with, FTR teaming up with MJF and feuding with the Hurt Business, and that's when they're gonna bring Cedric Alexander involved with the Hurt Syndicate, I keep calling it Hurt Business, but the Hurt Syndicate, and it may happen. But other than that, a lot of stuff makes a lot of sense, with the exception of what happened last night, Sunday night, with the Jericho losing the belt the way he did, and the whole crazy chaos that happened, the ops getting involved in this match. You had then Marina Shafir caught a cutter. Why wasn't this girl that hanged out? They hanged out with Swerve Strickland. Oh my God, what's her name? Anyway, I just feel like it's just nonsense the way they did this. I think it was kind of trying to push the Death Rider story. Now people are just fed up with the Death Rider story because they're not showing that belt. Where are we going with this? They're not showing the belt. You have to show the belt. It's been over probably 7 months that the AEW belt has not been shown on TV. I don't know how has AEW survived and TV is allowing that the world title has not been shown. I don't understand it. But, I mean, AEW is doing good. They're getting already 1.2 million in max. So they must be doing something right and whatnot. I think they're focused now more on the brand instead of focusing trying to beat WWE, which I say they will never will unless they get, up there with WWE, and that's going to take a while because they're just, the 6th year. So, but we'll see what happens because, I mean, now you got Double or Nothing coming up on the Memorial Day weekend. We'll see where the storyline goes and who is going to be the next challenger for Moxley. It might be Will Ospreay. I think I see Will Ospreay winning the whole cup, the Owen Hart Cup. I want to see that. The girls, I don't know. Most likely, I don't know. Depending who's in there, I don't know. Maybe I have no idea. But we'll see what happens in the coming weeks coming up. But this is why I want to bring this up because the show was doing good, with the exception of the Mercedes Moné with Julia Hart. You could tell that Mercedes Moné was botching, and she was messing up Julia Hart's rhythm also. So, after the FTR Cope, I saw that coming, but not the way they did it. It was just like savage. But, let me know what you guys think of this and whatnot. And leave me your comments. Let me know what you think about this whole Jericho losing the belt the way he did. Let me know what you thought about the main event at AEW Dynasty. Was it the best way? Was that good way to end the match? And do you agree with AEW not showing this world title? 7 months has been already. We haven't seen the AEW and whatnot. So let me know what you think and follow me on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, the X. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Anybody who's online right now, hit that thumbs up. I will gladly appreciate it and whatnot. That will help the channel a lot, so I would appreciate it. So let me know what you think again. Also, check out the podcast, merchandise. That is tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. Again, that's tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. And let us know what you think about the merchandise. You can get shirts, hats, sweaters, you name it. We got everything in there. Again, I appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you for supporting the podcast. and let me know. Also, check out all the contents I got there. I got contents galore. The latest one that I did this past weekend was the whole Swerve Strickland with the Vlad TV interview where I had Booker T and Top Dollar trying to clap back and whatnot, and it kind of backfired on Booker T, and Top Dollar just wanted on an interview to have clout. So check those out. I got tons of stuff. 6 years worth. We're going our 6-year anniversary coming up on Memorial Day weekend. So keep supporting the podcast. I would appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on this weekend coming up. Definitely this weekend. So have a good day.